fascinating. It is one of the most, if not the most, romanticized cities in the entire world. We see it depicted over and over and over again in movies and books and poems, which has led to it having such a strong identity that I feel in a way is separate from its inhabitants, which is quite rare when it comes to a city. You know, while Parisians are stereotypically seen as being chic but rude and stuck up and snobby, Paris is the city of love, of romance, of whimsy, you know, these things that are associated with warmth and excitement. However, I recently came across the idea of Paris syndrome. Mostly experienced by Japanese tourists, Paris syndrome is the extreme disappointment felt when people visit Paris and it doesn't live up to their expectations. This disappointment can be so extreme that they actually suffer a psychological break, which is pretty crazy that there's a name for that. And to some degree, I suppose it's to be expected that people would feel a very strong sense of disappointment, considering the vast amounts of romanticized depictions of the city that just ignore the fact that it is a real city with real people and many, many real problems. But I have to admit that I've never felt this sense of disappointment. Sure, the city is touristy and it has a lot of systemic problems that I am definitely glossing over in this 4-minute video, but coming from my very privileged tourist perspective, I can't help but feel there's a certain magic about Paris. And it kind of begs the question, what is it that gives a city its soul? Normally I would say a lot of it is the inhabitants, but I'm not sure that that's true in the case of Paris. So is it the history? Is it the bread and the cheese? The cafes filled with croissants? Is it the art or the sparkling tower? Is it the bread and the cheese? Or is it just my own eyes, my history, my experiences that I'm projecting onto the city? Some part of what I feel when I'm in Paris is definitely nostalgia for previous nights spent running around the city with friends. Some part of it I think is the aesthetic appeal. It's just such a beautiful city to me. The aesthetics just hit me deep in my soul. And some parts are just the interesting people watching. It's a great city to just sit in and look around. But I can't help but feel like there's something more, like something unspoken that's not quite tangible. Or maybe it's just the bread and the cheese.